Bill here with the Metals Minute. Today is Monday, April 4th, 2022. Well, there's not a lot of breaking news in terms of the war front. However, the ongoing transition of the world financial system that was directly impacted by the West's response to the Russia-Ukraine conflict has occurred, and it is continuing to have an effect. We have a more detailed article about that coming out this week. I encourage you to check that out. But today I wanted to talk about how are things affecting American farmers. We know that farmers around the world are having difficulty, but what about here at home? Now, to be fair, we need to understand that a lot of the supply chain issues really began during the pandemic. And even today, we have a lot of factories closed, a lot of cities shut down. In China again, cities with millions of people and millions of factory workers. So that is going to impact the supply chains in many ways due to a resurgence of COVID, from what we're told. That's why they're shutting down. But the American farmers are being impacted by higher prices in three arenas, and that is in fertilizer and in herbicides and in diesel fuel. And the cost of diesel is at record highs, and that's one of the main fuels used by the agricultural machinery that's used to plant our crops. So that's having an impact. The herbicides those have nearly doubled in price, and most every crop, every commercially grown crop, is partially dependent upon herbicides for the seeds to grow. So that is impacting cost. And then fertilizer. Now, fertilizer is, there are three main components used here in America for fertilizer. One is nitrogen, which a year or two ago we produced 90% of that. However, the main component is from natural gas, and due to the cost of natural gas going up, that has impacted nitrogen. Now, phosphate is one that potash is one that we only produce 10% of. So that's, we have mines available for that we have a large amount that we could mine, but it's been more cost effective to purchase that from abroad, including Russia. And so that's, the price of that has gone virtually almost doubled, or a little more in some areas. And then we have, phosphate. Now, phosphate, we can produce 90% of that, but we've purchased about 40%, 45% from other nations, mainly Canada and also Russia. And so now with the sanctions, we can't get that amount from Russia, about 40%. Canada's not able to increase production enough. So what does that mean overall? It means for an acre of corn, a farmer can expect to get about $900. Now, when we look at all the increased costs, many American farmers are going to be operating at a loss. So that means one of two things is going to happen. People are going to decide, why do I want to put forth the effort and not have the finances to go with it? I could just sit on the porch and be in the same place, or maybe even a little better. That's the first option. So that will cause less grain to be grown and impact inflation that way. The other alternative is the government steps in, as they often do, and says, okay, well, we're going to subsidize the farmers because we have to have the food. Well, anytime the government steps in and subsidizes anything, that means there's more money chasing the same amount of goods that are available. That also will lead to continued inflation. So either of these cases makes it a good reason to continue to purchase and own precious metals. Because as you know, mining metal is a very energy intensive operation. And so metal that's already above ground and refined, that tends to hold its value very well over time against the monsters of inflation. So thanks a lot. We look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good day.